Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is part 2 of why I don't fuck with Wicca. And in this one, we're going to talk about these two, the God and Goddess, and why that has pushed me away from Wicca. Here's the thing. Since I was a child, and I mean since I was a very, very small child, I've had a problem accepting this theory of an omnipotent deity that was going to look after me if I did this, or was going to punish me if I did that, or this, that, and the other. And I've had this real aversion to anything that pushed that on me. It's why I haven't been back to church since I was like 9, I want to say was the last time I went to church, and that was only because the neighbors kept aggravating me about it. I was 9 or 10. But I refuse to bow down to a deity. I don't do deity work. I don't do any of it. And if you read Buckland's Guide to Witchcraft, you know, that's one of the very first things they talk about is deities in there, and the God and Goddess. And I just want no part of any religion or spirituality where veneration, consecration, or worship of a deity is mandatory. I refuse to worship anything because someone else tells me I have to. And plus, there's only one deity or one god I've ever seen actual evidence of, and that was death. It's just that simple. So yeah, that's another reason I avoid Wicca at all fucking costs. I don't do the whole deity shit, man. The whole horned god and goddess, and the whole very prescribed gender roles of it are just not my cup of tea at all. Because when you start having gender roles and stuff, this whole god, and you know, the high priest does this, the high priestess does that, etc., etc., etc. The god does this, but the goddess does that. You start establishing hierarchies. And I firmly do not believe witchcraft should have a hierarchy to it whatsoever. So that's another reason I don't fuck with Wicca that pertains to this god and goddess subject matter that we're talking about now. I'm just not into it. And, you know, if you watch part 1, there's the stuff I had to say about Gerald Gardner. And, you know, Gerald Gardner was misogynistic. If you read his writings, everything was kind of male gender role slanted, very high priest slanted. And I'm just not trying to mess with that kind of stuff. And I'm just not trying to mess with that energy. And plus, you know, I've seen conversations about the Wiccan god and goddess strain, we shall say, cause serious arguments, serious arguments, and serious conflict amongst practitioners and among Wiccans, just Wiccans themselves. And it's not an area I want to touch. And plus, I bow down to nobody. If you've gotten me to bow down to you, chances are it involved latex and whips and high heels. But that's a whole separate video. But yeah, deities are another large chunk of why I don't fuck with Wicca. Because every experience I've had about Wicca and everything I've read about Wicca, it's always had some kind of deity-based dialogue to it. And it's not for me. But there you go. There's part 2 of why I don't fuck with Wicca.